They came from all across Alabama.
I want to keep fighting for my embryo and hopefully get a solution to this soon.
Ready to fight for the right to grow their families.
I want to let the legislators know that the world is watching. Our country is watching.
My husband and I have been trying to expand our family for the last 3 years.
Many of these people left in agonizing limbo, blindsided after the Alabama Supreme Court shocked the country, ruling that frozen embryos created during IVF are considered children.
We call on the state of Alabama to provide immediate, complete, and permanent access to IVF care for the women and families of Alabama.
It's one thing to have this pro-life, pro-choice discussion. It's another to deal with it with IVF, because all we want to do is create life.
Now the threats of potential wrongful death lawsuits keeping 3 main fertility clinics in the state on pause.
We wanted protection for patients and for clinics. We wanted full access and permanent access to IVF care in Alabama.
The decision doesn't make IVF illegal in any way, but it makes it very legally risky to provide IVF services because there's a possibility of the destruction of embryos anytime you participate in IVF.
This rally outside the state capitol intended to push Alabama lawmakers to find a solution. With hundreds of thousands of Americans seeking IVF every year, what happens here could create a ripple effect for families all across the country. Families like Brittany Norman's.
How much does every day matter right now?
It's really important.
Brittany is in the middle of her first round of IVF, scheduled for an embryo transfer in about 2 weeks.
How much do you feel like the rest of the country is looking at Alabama in this moment right now?
I think it's a lot. I don't think I really realized how much this was affecting other states, starting to look at what do we want to do with IVF, and if they've banned it in Alabama, can we ban it in our state, or how do we not ban it? Let's see what we got. This is the one we have to do at lunchtime.
The process to get to this point has been intense and expensive for Brittany and her husband, Ralph.
So we have to mix these up.
Yeah, they want you to use the big needle to get the stuff, and then these are the small ones that for these shots.
They're plowing ahead, starting the final rounds of medication ahead of her scheduled procedure.
You're tired, super bloated, headaches from hormones, more stressed, and then you add on a Supreme Court ruling that you really have no control over. It's even more, I think, confusing now. You just don't know, are you doing all this, are you taking this medicine and doing all this work for nothing?
The couple has struggled to have children for years. They managed to have their daughter thanks to fertility treatments back in 2019. But after that, heartbreak after heartbreak.
I mean, we know you can get pregnant, but you have 3 miscarriages. Even if you get pregnant, there's nothing exciting for us because we're nervous for, 9 months.
Yeah, it's been 2 years of, now we try this, now we'll do this, now we have to wait on this. So it's a lot of waiting.
It gets pretty defeating, you know.
Now they're hoping IVF can help them have the second child they're so desperate to add to their family.
I just turned 35, so 35 is a big trigger for, it's already probably a higher risk, and then with age, so it's, time is of the essence, I think, we would like to get this done soon. We're sort of the light at the end of the tunnel of this process, and then it kind of, got dark again.
It's definitely a race against time.
Yeah. I feel like the embryos these are our hopeful babies, and hopefully they can turn into babies, but right now it's just cells.
This isn't the first time politics and court decisions have impacted their fertility journey. Back in the summer of 2022, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, Brittany had a miscarriage and needed surgery to clear her uterus. But they weren't sure they could do that in Alabama, which had passed an abortion ban.
So we were worried, well, are we going to have to go somewhere else to have the D&C? And, fortunately, they kept doing them. But that was, twice now we've had pretty big legal events happen that make us sort of hang in the balance.
Yeah, it's like you hear about things and like, man, that's terrible, but then you're directly affected by it. It's a whole new ball game.
Now the uncertainty is turning into anger.
Hopefully the legislature or somebody can repair this ruling, but this is the worst case scenario. This is like the fire department showing up to put your house out, but they use a flamethrower instead of a fire hose is what they've done.
Since the Alabama Supreme Court ruling, there's been growing backlash.
I anticipate having a bill on my desk very shortly.
Lawmakers have introduced multiple bills that would give civil and criminal immunity to doctors who provide IVF. Those bills being debated today as women went office to office in the State House, wearing orange shirts for infertility awareness. Brittany and Ralph listening as lawmakers debate their future.
Do you feel like lawmakers understand how urgent it is for them to find a solution here?
I think if they didn't before today, I think they do now. I think that they realize this impacts a lot of people.
It's hard to know what the Alabama Supreme Court would make of a new law, if in fact it gets passed, that would try to protect IVF from any kind of legal challenge. I think there's some possibility that the state Supreme Court would strike that law down as inconsistent with a constitutional principle that says, life begins at conception.
Experts worry the Alabama ruling has opened the door for other states to possibly follow suit and pass so-called personhood laws that could endanger IVF.
Opponents of IVF might well essentially take a playbook from this litigation and bring similar challenges in other states, seeking rulings that even if they don't render IVF unlawful, make it functionally impossible to provide because of the legal risk involved.
It blows my mind that women who vote regularly, who want a family so badly, who are willing to spend $50,000 to $100,000 and take a shot every day, that's the demographic that they want to rile up ahead of November elections.
37-year-old Lockraine Chase is midway through an IVF cycle. Her clinic just postponed her embryo transfer, scheduled for March 18th.
While I was driving down to the State House, I had to turn around to take a shot for my IVF procedure.
This is front and center every day for you, many hours of the day.
Absolutely.
But after meeting with lawmakers at the State House today, she's optimistic.
I'm very hopeful that good things will come out of Montgomery in the state of Alabama today.
Brittany and Ralph hope so too. The clock is ticking.
You've picked the wrong population. We're pumped full of hormones, and so we want to fight this and get to be able to have our children.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.